On today's The Disruptors, meet Lisa Corbasero, the powerhouse behind High-Tech Honeycomb, the advanced materials company building lighter, stronger, smarter solutions for aerospace and beyond. From defense to next-gen mobility, Lisa is providing that American manufacturing is not just surviving, it's leading. Let's dive into what's next.
I want to introduce a very special guest that I've actually known for some time, Lisa Corbasero of High-Tech Honeycomb. And first of all, the reason why I'm thrilled that you're on the show, so thank you, in Las Vegas.
Thank you for having me.
Is women in leadership is something that I really want to focus on for the long haul for multiple reasons. But one, the most important in some senses, we don't see enough of it, but not from a gender perspective. We just don't see enough of it, and I believe that over the next decade or two, when we have this great wealth transfer, something like $85 to $100 trillion, I think women are going to play a very, very large role in that. And by knowing you for so long, I think you'd be actually a good mentor figure for young women out there who's trying to make it in this wild and wacky world we're in. So thanks for being here.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
So you're the CEO and co-owner of High-Tech Honeycomb.
Yes.
For the audience who doesn't understand what that is, because it took me a while to get educated, what is High-Tech Honeycomb, or what is even a honeycomb?
Honeycomb is a part that goes in every turbine engine out there. So every time you get on a Delta flight or a American Airlines, pretty much you're going to see, you're going to know that you're flying with honeycomb in the engines. So they are brazed into the turbine seals and cylinders there, and they basically act as a filtration where it pressurizes the air out. So basically, and it looks literally like a metal honeycomb. So when you think about like sucking out the air or pressing out the air, the fact is that like birds, you are not going to see the birds come into the engines as often, is because it's pressurizing. The honeycomb is helping facilitate pushing out the air.
So in essence, without a honeycomb, this plane ain't moving.
It's found out. I found out that it's over the years that it's pretty critical in playing a crucial part in the turbine engine cylinders and all engines. And visiting customers that I have visited and seeing how they assemble the engines, I never knew how important it was until probably like the last 2 years.
So we can go into many avenues, and I could spend actually hours with you talking about this, but if you walk back, you are the co-owner.
Yes.
You didn't found the business.
No, my father.
Your father.
My father who was a Brazilian immigrant, came out with basically a fourth grade level education to the U.S. as a lobster fisherman in San Diego, and was working on the docks there, and happened to, by chance, fall into working with another aerospace company, and became basically the right-hand person for this gentleman. And he asked him to basically captain his boat for the day, and this is back in the late 60s. And my father didn't know English well, and he ended up saying yes, and didn't know how to captain a boat at all, because he was just used to little Ponga boats. And anyways, like 25 years later, he was the vice president of this company in San Diego, making other airplane engine parts. And so he learned from that, and then he knew that there was this niche to make honeycomb, because it's a difficult part to make. It's very a lot of hand holding on the part, and every part is unique. It's built to spec, and so he knew that there wasn't a lot of companies out there that wanted to do it. So
he just plunged.
He plunged, and he he got away from the company that he was with and started making this machine that corrugated the honeycomb and welded the honeycomb in our garage. And it's an incredible story, of American
How old
success
were you
story.
at the time when?
I was I'd finished high school. I was in college, so I was on my own path and graduated with the communications major. Went and worked in other places where I was doing sales and telecom, and it was good because I wanted to do. I got to see what it was like to be outside. Also, then as he continued to make the company successful and build the company. And my brother was there from the get-go. He didn't end up going to school, so he co-founded in a way with my father and was kind of the spokesperson and helped get the company to where, at the time, get the approvals that was needed under GE, Rolls-Royce, Pratt Whitney, all the original engine makers out there. And I came along about 8 years later.
Did he ask you? Did you ask to be involved? Was it a curiosity? Did you just want to be near your father?
No, at the time, no. I was in my mid-20s. I just felt.
That's a great answer.
I just felt it was time. I mean, he asked me to come on board, and he said, I'm going to teach you how to make honeycomb, though. And that's how he wanted me to basically start in the company. So I started.
And how old were you then when you started?
I was 26.
So was that scary or fun?
No, it was fun because you're working with the family.
Right.
So you're thinking, we had at the time about 30 employees. And he said, Lisa, go answer the phones. Lisa, go pack parts. Lisa, go do some hand welding. Lisa, go visit a customer. And I'm telling you, it seemed like month after month, he was trying to fire me.
Is that right? Was he harder on you than others, or is that because he felt that you had that leadership quality and wanted to prepare you for it, or is just?
I think he always said, Lisa, this is your company. This is your company to run. But he said this also to my brother as well.
No. But how did that make you feel? Overwhelming?
I didn't put too much at the time.
You're just like, whatever.
Yeah. I'm like, I felt like this was like, this is my time just to learn everything and everything about the business. And it made me, again, I didn't see the significance of learning how to weld honeycomb, but today I do. Mm-hmm. And that's why I try to promote as much as I can on engineers and having our employees who have children. I'm like pushing them to go towards being engineers.
Do you think you saw, and I say this selfishly because I'm a father as well, but did you see a different side of your father from home life to business life? And you didn't? Is he pretty much the same?
He was very tough. He was very tough at work, and he was tough at home. But he was also one that everyone respected and loved, because he would holler and scream at everyone, and then 2 seconds later he was a teddy bear.
Yeah. When did you notice? And I mean, I keep diving to these questions because I think it really affects the way you lead today. I would. Just a back question: are there still some of the original employees from way back?
There are, and so we're 36 years, but we have 2 employees that are there. Number 11, number 12 of employees. Yeah. And
they know it though. They feel special.
Very much so. It's one where the recognition and a praise that I give to them, knowing, and when customers come through the shop, they're the first 2 that I introduce.
That's cool. So. I do remember when I visited your facilities, which were pretty impressive because I felt like you could eat breakfast, lunch, or dinner off the floor. That's how clean the facility was.
That came from my father.
Yeah, no, very, very, attention to detail. I did notice one thing. All the employees know you. they really care about you. They always had a smile on their face. You could feel it was very authentic. How important is that to you in a culture and in leadership to have that relationship with the people that work with you?
It's extremely important to me because
I think it's number one in your book.
To the fact that every day it's about just showing up and walking through that shop. I'd rather be there than behind the desk, and then so I make it a point to say good morning to the first shift, to everybody. I go to every department, every work center. I go in for second shift, same thing. I'm there saying good afternoon. What can I do for you? So it's a lot about that. So they see the owner, and it's more the fact that I get that feedback from them, where they say, I've never been in a company where the owner is walking around and asking me how my family is. So it's important.
Staying engaged, being proactive, communication. That's maybe your background in communication, making sure that you're staying ahead of the curve there.
And it's also it's a blessing and a curse in a way, because I try to just please everyone, and you can't. So
well, there are times you have to draw the line, for
sure.
Take a step back.
Yeah.
Your father, your brother, so on and so forth. They became more passively involved as you became more actively involved.
Father got sick. Yeah.
Your father got sick. I know it was a very emotional period of time. Did he just say it's yours, take it over, or how did that evolution occur?
No, it was really for. I have a brother, my brother John, who really, because he started the company, and I respected the fact that he was the one who, at the time when Dad was passing, and he, rightfully so, I respected the fact that he should have a little bit more controlling interest in the company, and it was going to be his. But after Dad passed 10 years ago, this happened. He decided that he did not want to be involved in the day-to-day any longer, and I continued, and I stayed there. I was still I was running human resources at the time, and again, checking off the box, customer service, every avenue you could imagine in the company. I was trying to learn and play my part in doing that until I got to the part of a CEO.
So now you're the CEO, and it was at a time when I was starting to get to know you. There was some challenges in the marketplace. I mean, the MAX project, for Boeing turned into a real disruptive event for all the supply chain. And then there was an actual supply chain problem.
Right. 2019, it was.
Which one was more challenging for you, the MAX situation or the supply chain problem? And maybe.
Definitely the supply chain.
Why was that?
Because even with the MAX being grounded, the 737 MAX, there was a lot of planes grounded, but there were still planes flying. And there's planes that need to go in for repair and maintenance, and so they need Honeycomb. And after so many hours, it does go into for repair and maintenance, so it's a good business to be in.
But what blew my mind during that period of time, though, is I felt like for the aerospace industry, time stopped, because FAA was known for the standard bearer.
But it was also COVID at the same time.
Correct. So that really screwed things up a lot. And so, you keep talking about how High-Tech Honeycomb is certified. And it, didn't resonate with me until you've said it like 4 times. And then you're like, wait a minute, by being certified, that puts you at kind of another level. How long did it take for your company to get that certification? And I'm certain that's not something that's given away lightly.
It's not. It's again. There's a lot of quality components that again to be assessed, and you've got to get the big engine makers out there, the GEs, the Rolls-Royce, Pratt Whitney, to get you approved, and they come out. It takes a while. It happened early on at High-Tech, so the fact that we got these approvals, these certifications, these quality certifications, it became AS 9100. Certified as well, which was documenting all our processes that we have to do for quality.
And how many times is that process reviewed?
Annually.
So
We have a customer audits happening monthly. Like, they come in, they want to do quality audits. It happens. So we have a good quality control team, and again, they find very little as far as like there's majors and minors. Never any majors. Every now and then, and it's again about documenting the processes. They want to make sure that everything you're doing, because it is a part that goes in the engine of an airplane. And
conversation. A follow-up question I want to know is, because I've been reading a lot about, precision issues, AI, so on and so forth, but 3D printing and how does that affect? And it's something that I've always been curious about, because it feels like I see something about 3D printing all the time. And does that replace the business? I'm always worried about, existential threats that are coming into the business, but to kind of peel back the onion regarding this high-tech, low-tech conversation and then the 14,000 parts, how do you even keep track of all that stuff?
Well, it's a matter of just, again, getting my most important for me intel is going out in front of the customers and visiting them and doing the face-to-face. And that's where it's not about gaining more business in a way. It's about getting that intel. What's out there? Who are our competitors?
You're this leader, CEO. I think you run an amazing business, and you're a woman in leadership in a very male-dominated industry, especially in the aerospace. I've been noticing you've been traveling a lot, not just for education, but to kind of get awareness going. Talk to me in two conversations as a woman. How are you received in these types of conferences, and maybe give the audience an idea of where you go to, because it's not like you're going to, Midwestern states. You're traveling all around the world, and maybe share with us a couple stories and experiences would be really helpful.
Well, I do believe the fact that being we have conference calls all the time with customers, but I do think the most important way of continuing the relationship and honoring it is going out and visiting the customer and seeing their facilities. They welcome me, and the great thing about it is, instead of just talking to the procurement people out there, they know that high tech is coming in, and the owner's coming, and
That's
it just
a big
makes
deal.
me, and it just makes me, again, as a woman, as the CEO of the company, it places a great value to myself, and it allows me to go in front of them and show my appreciation to them, because again, some of these are long relationships that we've had with them.
But it's also global. Give me the last. You're about to go to Japan, right?
Right.
Where were you beforehand?
And 2 weeks ago, I was just in Singapore. We have 8 customers there. We have about 6 customers in Taiwan, so I was over there as well. And then we've got in June the Paris Air Show, so I'll be there. Yeah. It's a big show.
How long does that last? Because that's the big one.
That's a big one. That's a week. It's about 4 days, 3 days for the trade that's there.
It's like the Coachella.
Yes.
Of aerospace.
Oh, they have the president of France opens up the show, and we've got just these chalets of Boeing and Airbus and Rolls-Royce, and they're all there.
Hey, something that just
every
came to
part
top
of an
mind,
airplane is there.
Defense is becoming a very big issue, obviously. We've seen a lot of things in the news of talking about all the issues that are going on globally. Do you play any role on the defense side, except for the planes?
On some military planes that we do, yes. I mean, it's a corrugated honeycomb that's welded. If you want to touch upon the fact that things about the tariffs that are happening, we're in a unique situation because we're manufacturing in California, which it presents itself as it's difficult right there, and our vendors that we buy our material from are in the U.S. So for that fact, I don't see the whole thing about the tariffs that we were going to discuss, it's not affecting us at the moment. It could, because nickel, that's how it's made. It could.
And there's a lot of talk about tariffs now and how it's going to affect the economy, and
Right.
there's various opinions politically one way or the other. And without really getting into that, you're saying tariffs are really not going to affect you that much.
Hopefully not.
Yeah, knock on wood kind of
Yes,
thing, or knock on
yes.
acrylic.
Yes.
It's a family business to you. Do you have family working in the business?
I do. I have now both sons have entered into the business. My older son came on board, and again, I wanted him to do what my father did, and get on the shop floor and earn the respect of the employees. And I'm proud to say too, he's out there and he's killing it. And he's doing
Really?
great. He's doing a great job. He's been expediting the parts. We have 2 buildings right now currently. He does supervising as well, and he's there for the employees.
Do
as well.
you at
And I
family
have my-
events try to shut it off a little bit, or are you constantly talking about the business?
Oh, we shut it off.
Oh, good.
We do. We
Right.
have that moment where we come home, because my husband's not involved in it, so it's not like he wants to hear about it
Right.
7/24. But it's great. Now my younger son's on board, and he's out there as well. He's inspecting parts.
Right.
He's expediting as well. I prefer if they were also learning how to actually get out on the laser machines and
But
coordinate
that'll happen
as
in time,
well.
don't you think?
Oh
Or-
yeah, for sure. But the great thing is that they're out there and the employees see them, but they don't see them as the owner's son. They see him as just another employee as well.
As we wrap up this show, and thanks again for coming on and sharing some stuff, I want to share with the audience something that I've noticed, and hopefully it gets conveyed through the cameras, is that, Lisa, one thing I think that you're very humble about, and that's one of the qualities that I like most about you, is that you're very authentic, high integrity. It means something to you that your employees love you, because I noticed that about you. I love the fact that you're involving family. I know all the challenges, yet every time I see you, you have a smile on your face, you're willing to laugh. In fact, you're always self-deprecating, because you're saying, listen, I don't know if I know what I'm talking about, or whatever the case may be. But I think for the audience, one of the things that I want young women to aspire to is when they see a figure like you and they hear your dad was in the lobster business, or you were in communications doing your own thing, that leadership isn't just about knowing everything. It's about knowing who you are and what you are, and then knowing how to function within that. And the simple lessons of being customer concentric is something that gets lost in this whole disruptive nature. Everyone thinks now, we can have technology take over and so on and so forth. And you bring the emotional intelligence to the picture. And I hope, that's something that I wanted the audience to capture. And I just genuinely appreciate your time.
Thank you. Thank you for having me as well.
All right. Well, good luck with everything, and we'll talk soon.
All right. Thank you.
All right.
Changing the game, shattering expectations, rewriting the rules. Meet the new visionaries, the rebels, the ones who dare to disrupt, exploring the industries revolutionizing our world. The Disruptors. From the Fontainebleau Las Vegas Resort.